Welcome back everybody. Unit 6, what is ecotourism? Today we are gonna go to reading 2. Exactly. If you can open your textbook at page 136. Here we are, reading 2, a travel journal. Okay, look at the bold-faced words and phrases in the reading and think about the questions. Number 1, which words or phrases do you know the meaning of? 2, can you use any of the words or phrases in a sentence? We're looking at the words. See, what are some of the words that you can see that are bold-faced here? Protect environment. We see continent. Frozen. Yeah. Okay. Now, pause your video to answer number 1 and 2. Go ahead. Great, that brings us to the travel journal itself. Let's read it. It's from the Journal of a Tourist Who Traveled to Antarctica. But before we do that, I want you to preview the text first by looking at the title in the subheadings. Basically, we already know what genre of text it is because it is written down right there, travel journal, but it's always important to do the preview, to create, to predict, so to know what the purpose is of the text, to create focus. Okay, I'm gonna give you some time to read over every heading and to look at the pictures. Go ahead. Okay, my question now is, the genre we already know, a travel journal, but I would like to know what the purpose is of this text. Okay, write that down because I will ask you that once we meet each other in our Zoom meeting. Great, now I would like you to to skim the text. Yeah, you're gonna read the introductory paragraph, every topic sentence, and the concluding paragraph. And by doing that, you already get the main idea of the text. Okay, I give you some time to do that right now. Go ahead. Great. Okay, write down what the main idea is of this whole text. Again, next meeting I will ask you and I would like you to tell me that. So what is the main idea of the whole text? Okay, great. Now, when I am turning on the audio, I'd like you to read along, but at the same time, annotate the text for main points. Okay? Okay, let's go.
A travel journal. Chile, South America. February 16th. The sunlight was shining so brightly as our plane flew over the snow-covered Andes Mountains, which seemed to go on forever. Cape Horn, February 18th. We spent the morning at a small church named Star of the Sea. This is a quiet place where visitors are invited to remember the sailors from all over the world who died here. They were all trying to sail around the southern point of South America, and many of them lost their lives at sea. Drake Passage, aboard the tour ship Explorer. February 19th. We were welcomed today by the captain and crew. They gave us warm Antarctic jackets and introduced themselves to us. Seabirds followed the ship closely, sailing in the cold wind. As we headed south, we saw a pink ship in the distance. Our captain explained that it was not a ship, but an iceberg, the first one of our trip. Deception Island, Antarctica, February 21st. We landed on Bailey Head, where thousands and thousands of penguins greeted us. The crew gave us a set of rules to follow to protect the environment. Mark, one of the scientists on our ship, asked us to bring him any trash that we find. He is studying the amount of trash created by tourists in Antarctica each year. Tonight, we'll listen to Christina, another scientist. She will explain the plant and animal life to us. Then she will show us a DVD on Antarctica. The more I see of this remote place, the more I want to learn. Cuverville Island, Antarctica, February 23rd. We awakened this morning to the noisy sound of penguins. They're loud. We met a team of biologists living in tents. They are studying the effect of tourists on baby penguins. When our captain invited the biologists to come on board for a hot shower, they joined us immediately. Then we cruised through the icebergs, which appeared in unbelievable shapes and sizes as the sun was sinking in the sky. They seemed to be works of art by an ice sculptor. Paradise Bay, Antarctica, February 25th. Today, we reached the mainland of the continent. Our guide today was Stephanie, who helped us walk through snow to a point about 500 feet above sea level. When we reached the top, we laughed like children because it was so much fun to be up there. Later, we explored a glacier in motorized rubber boats. The ice was as thick as the crushed ice in a soft drink, but we pushed through it. Datai Island, Antarctica, February 28th. Because we wanted to celebrate crossing the Antarctic Circle, we drank some champagne today. Not many visitors come this far south. Mark explained an interesting characteristic of the ice down here. It is blue because it catches all the colors of the rainbow except for blue. I have always thought of Antarctica as nothing but white, but now I see a clear blue light shining through the mountains of ice all around us, and I have no words to describe the beauty of this landscape. Our ship passed a huge field of frozen sea. Mark invited us to come out and play. We weren't sure at first, but when we felt how solid it was, we jumped and ran. All around us were mountains and glaciers that no one has ever explored. It amazed me to think that no human hand or foot has ever touched them. Only a few human eyes have seen them. Even though it will be hard to describe, I will try to explain this amazing experience to my friends at home. We all felt sad today when we realized that our ship was heading north. We really aren't ready to leave Antarctica, a unique world.
Very good. Yes, that brings us to the comprehension, the questions. 1. How did the writer feel about the trip? And what adjectives describe her emotions? And 2. What opinion does the writer have about tourism in Antarctica, and how do you know? Okay, I would like you to think about this and to write this down. the answer to these questions. You can pause your video. Go ahead. Okay, that brings us to the reading skill. For the reading skill, we're talking about understanding vocabulary from context clues. So even if there are words that you don't know, you can kind of figure out what the meaning is of the word by looking at the context. Paragraph 3 of reading 2, let's read that again. And what is the meaning of captain? What information before or after this word helps you to understand what it means? Paragraph 3. We were welcomed today by the captain and crew. They gave us warm Antarctic jackets and introduced themselves to us. Seabirds followed the ship closely, sailing in the cold wind. As we headed south, we saw a pink ship in the distance. Our captain explained that it was not a ship, but an iceberg, the first one of our trip. So you can look at the information that comes before the word and after the word in order to figure out what the word means in context. Good readers use context clues to understand new vocab in a text. Now, context clues are other words or phrases that help you understand the meaning of a word that you don't know. Sometimes they come before the word and sometimes they come after the word. So it's smart to always look at the information or text before the particular word and after the word. We were welcomed today by the captain and crew. The sentence comes after the subheading Drake passage aboard the tour ship Explorer. This subheading contains a word that you might already know, ship. If you know that a ship is a boat, you could guess that a captain is someone who controls a ship, right? By looking at the information within the context. Right. Okay, you're gonna try to answer number 1, 2, and 3. Try to guess the meanings of the words by using context clues. 1, 2, and 3. It refers to specific paragraphs, paragraphs 7, 8, and 10. Okay, pause your video and answer this. Go ahead. Great. So you had to, with the comprehension, you had to skim through the text. So you had skimmed the text already, so you already knew the main idea. You had to scan through the text, to find the answers to these questions. So skimming to get the main idea and scanning to get specific points and details. And for understanding vocabulary from context, you had to look at the text before the particular word and after to figure out what the meaning is. So good. That brings us to connecting the readings. The first step is organizing. So reading 1 and reading 2 contain opinions about tourism in Antarctica. This chart compares the views of the scientist with the views of the tourist. Now look at the list of opinions below. Place them in the appropriate category by writing the letter of each opinion in the chart below. So we've got opinions A, B, C, D, the opinions of the scientist and the opinions of the tourist. Now please place them in the right box as they appear in the text, in text 1 and reading 1 and text 2 and reading 2. Pause your video. Go ahead. Great. Now, in the part of synthesizing is where we combine all our facts and all our sources in order to create something new. Imagine that the tourist in reading 2 meets the scientist in reading 1. Now, you should work with a partner to complete their dialogue. Use information from the chart in step 1, but do not copy. So what I would like you to do is continue this dialogue, finish it. I understand that you've done some research in Antarctica. I love that place. Have you been there as a tourist? Yes, it was the trip of a lifetime. Well, to be honest with you, I understand your concern, but now I'd like you to finish these 2 sentences and add 2 more. Great, that's amazing. That brings us to the end of our lesson. So good. Yeah. Okay. So what is it we did today? Reading 2, we went over the bold-faced words, yeah, by reading the context of the text and understanding the words in context. And comprehension questions based on the text, so you had to preview the text to know the genre and the purpose and the focus, and then skim the text in order to know the whole main idea of the text. And I asked you to scan the text to find the answers to the comprehension questions. Then we did the reading skill, understanding vocabulary from context clues by looking at the information that comes before and after the word in order to be able to analyze and find out what the meaning is of that word. And last, we organized the information from text 1 and 2, combined the information to complete a dialogue. Very good. Well done. Thank you very much for joining me today. I will see you very soon. God bless you. Bye-bye.